I'm just fucking with y'all. Just fucking with y'all. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's turn it off. Let's just get into it. All right, get a lot of questions about how to fund a successful Kickstarter campaign, crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, all of these things, right? Now, there's a common element to all of this stuff that many people just don't really talk about because everyone wants to get into the product creation, putting the stuff together, but that's really the wrong way to go. You need to focus on the marketing first. First, primary everything. So before we get into all that, welcome to Hustlers Kung Fu, where we teach you how to make money without a job. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the meat of this stuff really, really quick. So just hold on a second and let me get into my share screen. That will pop this up for you really, really quick. I picked that. There we go. Let's get into it. All right. Now, Kickstarter, I have backed a few projects, maybe 12. I'm thinking, you know, it's been a minute because I haven't been here. But if you want to get any money from Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, there's two components. Now, we've all seen when someone has a tragedy or there's this poor, unfortunate child that has this disease that needs $50,000, $100,000, and people pour out their hearts to these people. Okay, those are desperation, real life, emergency type deals. That's not what we're talking about. It can help. Those things tend to go more viral. But if you're selling a product, a service, you need to sit down before you even develop whatever ideal that's in your head. You need to look at your audience. That's the number one thing that you need to look at. That's it. That's hands down the total reason you will be successful or you will be unsuccessful. It's the audience, nothing else. You can have a bullshit product, but if your audience loves it, you will win. Yes, you'll win. You will win. And that's one of the things that people don't seem to take into consideration when they're putting this stuff together or they're doing these particular products, because you get a lot of people who's like crowdsourcing. Okay, think of crowdsourcing as investing. Now, someone comes up to you, right? And they're like, hey, I want $100. You've got $100 and they just ask for it. And depending on the type of person you are, 90% of the times you're going to say, no. Now, why will you say no? Because they just came up and asked you for some money. That is why 50% of Kickstarter program campaigns fail. They just ask for money. There's no context. There's no reason. There's no marketing. They don't know you. They don't make you feel warm and fuzzy. None of that stuff. None of that stuff. So the big thing is, if you just throw up a campaign on any of these sites and asking for money and you don't have an audience that likes you already, or you haven't picked an audience to serve, you are going to fail. That's just it. You're going to fail. I don't care if it's Indiegogo, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, you're going to fail. So the first thing is you got to sit back and really think about, what does that audience want? Let's take this YouTube channel. There's a lot of people here who want reseller stuff. And, you know, unless they get reseller stuff, they're not buying, which is just the reality. Now, the thing is, I'm not a reseller anymore. I have no intentions of being a reseller. I have no intentions of doing it because, as I will show you in the coming years, for me, where I sit, I can make way more money and be more in line with what I want to do as a media company. It's harder, it takes more mental bandwidth, there is risk, but I'm willing to embrace those things. Now, with that said, with the audience, if you've noticed, not a lot of people here. Not a lot of people are not interested in this stuff. And that's the whole thing. So I just kind of explained to you some very important concepts. If you have an audience that doesn't want what you're giving, you're not going to make a lot of money. It's just not it. And fortunately, with the way that things work, everyone can learn how to market. You can create a better marketing campaign. There's so many things that you can do. There's so many things that you can do to make your marketing stand out and for you to win this race with Kickstarter. All right, so that's what we got in here. We got Maya Fayez up in this throw some fire on them bitches one time. Lonnie Pate, thanks for enhancing my hustler mindset. Morning, Benjamin. Yeah, all right, now let's get back to it. If you want to win this game, if you really, really want to win this game, here are some critical things that you got to do. First, plan out for a few months before you start your campaign. Because let's see, I can just type this in because I know it to be true. 50% of Kick, probably higher now. That's right. Fail. And so here's an infographic. So I will show you some stuff. And you go ahead and look and explore this and find out for yourself. So apparently it's not really about, I'm not going to get into this whole thing because this is pretty much about where Kickstarter index your campaign. See, this is the thing. For you to win, you got to bring traffic into Kickstarter from some other area. That goes back to audience. But you will see projects that are successfully funded tend to do relatively small margins. You know, I'm doing this because I have a lot of people who've asked about this stuff, and this is just me. This is just me. I see a lot of these Kickstarter projects, campaigns, Indiegogo, and I see them on the feed because there are people who are spending ad money to promote their campaigns. They're actually advertising on Facebook. They're advertising in Google Display Network, which means they're coming in with some capital already. But the thing is, unless the ideal is just amazing and you can manufacture it pretty inexpensively, if you have to have something that has electronic components and you don't have a top design team behind you, you can get really hanky. But what you have to do is sit down and think about how many people can you serve with whatever you are going to do. I mean, it's got to be a huge market. That's going to be a really, really big part of this, because one of the things is that many people are very much in love with the ideal of getting a lot of money and not doing much. And that's just not going to happen. Okay, it's gotten worse. It used to be 50%. The flip side is that for every successful Kickstarter campaign to fail, in the case of Indiegogo, it gets worse. About 9 out of 10 Indiegogo campaigns fail to reach their goal. Now, there's a distinct difference. Indiegogo, whatever money you raise, you get to keep. Kickstarter, if you don't meet your campaign goal, you don't get to keep the money. You don't even get the money. So that should be noted. Now, here's some stuff. 30% of funding goal is guaranteed by friends, family, anyone else you can line up to make a financial contribution to your campaign on the day it launches. If you raise 30% in the first couple of days of your campaign, you significantly increase your chance of reaching your goal. All right, so I'm gonna pull out here and I'm going to talk about this. One of the things about doing your own work online is you start to see a great many parallels in all of these things. Now, that whole thing about you go out and you line up 30%. Facebook, YouTube, KickStarter, they all have an algorithm. So if you can goose the system, then things will take off, right? But here's the thing. Many people are kind of pulling away from true business creation, and they're manipulating systems and algorithms to make money. Not saying that's bad, not saying that's bad at all. But what I'm saying is when you do that, you become more about satisfying Kickstarter, Facebook, YouTube, than building your own thing and being creative and making something that people truly want. That seems to go out the window. And that creates a really strange paradigm, because I'm starting to see all of this over and over again. All these platforms operate to a degree the same, which means you need something. It's kind of like going to the bank. Like when your credit score is 800, you don't need any money. You can get car loans, you can get houses, all this. You don't even need it. So what's happening is, if you don't really need them, your chances of becoming more successful on them are greater. And the people who need them can't get any money. It's a strange, strange world we live in. So it gets funny. JC Sanchez, I go to a car wash near my house and offers unlimited car washing for $29.95. I'm gonna tell you why that doesn't seem to work. People don't like monthly payments, even though it's only 30 bucks and they'll pay 20 bucks to get it washed one. It's just, I don't want to be obligated. I don't want the responsibility. Stuff like that. People are strange in that regard. But for those of you who are interested in launching a Kickstarter project, look at the market first. Look at the market, look at the audience first. Don't look at anything else. When you go here and you'll read all this stuff and they'll give you numbers, but it's all about the audience or fuckery. Now, here's something else. Build a crowd on social media. Is it large enough to tap into blah, 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 blah. Now, for years, I wanted to do a Kickstarter campaign, but I felt like that would be dishonest. I mean, I do well, with my own efforts and my own marketing. So why would I go to Kickstarter and put something out there? And a lot of people have done it. What's his name? Seth Godin. I was in a writing group years and years ago, and Seth Godin was doing a Kickstarter campaign. And I was just sitting there like, why is he doing that? I just felt that it was weird, because here's somebody who could go through traditional systems and easily get money. And why was he here on Kickstarter? I didn't think it was cool. A lot of people in the group were just like, you're a prude, you're not paying attention, blah, blah, and all this other stuff. But I think you should use platforms for what they were designed. And I think Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe were designed for certain things. And if you don't need them, don't use them. So what I'm telling you is, if you have the ability to get traditional financing, or you have the money, or you can pre-sell, do that and kind of leave the Kickstarter stuff alone. Now, that's just my advice. I'm here to give you both sides of it, but leave it alone, because you will find yourself shaping your company, your product to please the platform. And that may not be the best thing for the audience, if that makes sense. I'm just saying. Has anyone here ever done a Kickstarter? Let's see what we got here. What we have here. Nina Newman. Wait a minute. Why do you and Maya Faze have the same profile picture? That's wow. Do you have any videos on finding manufacturers overseas to remake my samples in mass production? I mean, safely. Okay. Any kind of, all right. That's going to, here's what you're going to have to do. And a lot of people don't want to hear this. You got to get on the plane and you're going to have to go out there and observe these places. And you're going to have to meet people in real life to get a better representation of what you want. I am not making a video for, you know, the stuff overseas. All right. I'm not trying to ride, I'm not trying to be like, you know, Trumpish, but one of the reasons I do my thing here and one of the reasons I have a media company is all of my stuff is done locally. So I don't, the whole thing of going overseas, if you're going to do that, understand you got to be hopping planes. You got to be networking. You got to be meeting people. That's what you got to do, because if you understand how valuable that kind of information is, let's say I went to France, right? And I was creating these, I had a clothing line. I was creating it in France and I found the right suppliers and I found a competitive niche. Why in the hell would I make a video about that? So I could have all these other people come in. A lot of you don't even share my videos because you don't want other folks to know, because it's like your competitive advantage. I know, I figured it out a little while ago. So that's just the game. Let's see, what do we have? Let's go back. Mark Hotton, a solid business idea wouldn't need Kickstarter. I'm not going to say that. You got people who have great business ideas and they just don't have any money, and they have bad credit, or they don't have a circle where they know people who will invest. I mean, everybody doesn't have friends who have just like an extra, you know, 50 to 50 grand just laying around and invest in your business. Robert, SAG Bomb used Kickstarter too, I think so, to fund production as film. That's kind of different. Never tried it personally. There's a lot of filmmakers using Kickstarter. That's making films is really expensive, and it really works better for those guys if they already have a audience. Let's see. I love that you said that. My friend partner would not follow the same advice. Now I can prove him wrong. Let's see. Where are we here? Yeah, foreign people, foreign friends aren't afraid to pay to play. I'm serious. I mean, I've had clients in China, Israel, UK, France, and a few other places, and they drop money like it ain't nothing. I appreciate that. We're talking about, you know, crowdsourcing, and not to be an ass, but I'm keeping these things on point. So if I don't ask you a question or address you, it's off topic. I don't share because of the competitive advantage. Jen Sweeto, I tell people about you, but I say you have to find you. I am sending no links. I know it's mean, huh? That's funny. That's hilarious. But no, one of the things that happens with this stuff is people become very much enthralled with tactics, and they become in love with certain things. It's going back to what someone said about a solid business ideal. A solid business ideal takes a lot of work to develop, and I don't agree that, you know, a solid business ideal wouldn't need Kickstarter. You could use Kickstarter and make some money with a solid business ideal, but I will agree that if your ideal is solid and you've tested it and you were able to get money, that you could probably grow the business without Kickstarter. You know, Kickstarter could help you with the right thing. Like I said, I I've sat down and I thought, and I was like, I really don't have a reason to use Kickstarter. There's nothing. I mean, it's just, I know a lot of people like get that money any way you can. And I'm just sitting there like, I think there's a certain proper perspective on how you should do things. And one of the reasons that everything here is changing, because you're going to see more conversations like this. You're going to see more things with real business concepts. And I'm getting all the way from the flashy. You will not see me talking about a lot of flashy internet businesses. I'll be talking about regular businesses, how you can leverage the internet, but not quote internet businesses. Let's see what we have here. Hannah love me too. I have an Indian customer who always wants a discount. In Pimping Craigslist for Fun and Profit, I actually have a whole section on demographics, and a lot of people really appreciate it because I told the truth. There's a reason. It's cultural. I tried to team millionaire. I tried to put you on to my brother, but now but not my competition. That's hilarious. Bootstrap that ass. Reginald Brown. Should you focus on building, promoting the brand prior to crowdsourcing as opposed to a specific product? No, you should focus on the audience. Brand don't mean shit if you're selling something they don't want. Jen, you said it before, don't do strategy, build business models. Strategies change, business models can be developed at any time. Damn, brown people always negotiate. My husband is the master. It's a cultural thing. If you ever go out of the country and you go to places and bazaars and talk to people, you'll see haggling out the ass. You'll see haggling like 2.8. I mean, it's really very much part of the culture. And a lot of people don't get that. Brown people always negotiate. That's hilarious. But, you know, with keeping with the thing, you know, kind of going back to this, you build this brand, right? But there's certain things that come into building a brand. And, you know, right now, everyone's doing a personal brand. And I've actually gotten away from a personal brand. You know, this channel used to be called Glendon Cameron. I have moved away from that. And there's some other stuff that I'm putting up. Well, you know, there's one that'll be somewhat personal because there'll be a lot of fuckery going on there. I'm looking at building companies and, you know, this media company. You know, Ariana Huffington, the Huffington Post, you know, she sold her name when she sold that company. And, you know, if I ever get to the point where I'm going to sell or do something in the future, I got to really be strategic with that. And the same thing comes into building your service or product, but you got to kind of hang out with the audience. Like you'll see people here on YouTube all the time, right? They'll just blow up. They'll do something. They'll put up a channel. You'll see them talk about how they made money with YouTube. And it was just like, I was myself. I worked hard. And you never hear anyone say, well, one of the reasons that I was successful was I'm a member of my demographic. I'm a member of the audience. I know it very, very well. I know what we like and what we don't like. And that was the reason for my success. It was like hard work, consistent bullshit. I've audited so many YouTube channels that have not followed any of those rules and literally blew up. Just blew up. So part of it is how much your audience likes you, likes your product or service, and will receive you. That's where the money is, not the brand. You should create a brand. You should create a brand. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but that should come after you figured out this audience that you can serve. Say I wanted to consult with yoga teachers. My first step would be to go out and find 10 or 15 yoga teachers, take them to lunch or dinner and say, look, I'm developing a company, but before I do this, I want, you know, and I want to sell to you, but right now I have nothing to sell. I'm finding out what is your biggest problem? What do you struggle with? Take them out, take notes, develop the relationship, then create something that they would really want. That's what you have to do. And some people kind of think because you're online that these business things just disappear, but they don't. But if anybody that I was going to try to sell a product to and I didn't know the market, I would actually press flesh, talk to real people, because you can do a lot of research online, and I'm telling that shit will be wrong. It will be wrong, wrong, wrong. Let's see. Your brown dog ate my rabbit. Damn, that's different. Social media is fine to expand your audience, but not to run a business from. Peeps on Instagram are going to be fucked when Instagram does what FB did. I agree 100%, because if you don't know, Facebook owns Instagram, and they've been putting out that reach is going to favor paid search, which means free organic reach that existed on Instagram and people made all this money. That's coming to an end. That's coming to an end. Some people are already feeling it. Santiago B, target demographic books, field help. Proud. I think I would rather have my wife get a second job while I continue to do what I do in order to fund my business with my hard-earned money. Hey, I mean, it's different. Your wife may feel differently. Haggling 3.0. That is hilarious. Jen, so sweeto, repairability is key. Would you go to a marriage counsel that's single? Why not? Relatable. They don't understand. Lamode, I'm posting consistently, post on Instagram, getting a flowing, but not conversion. Should I keep on doing something different? Okay. Well, we'll talk about that later, because I'm just, we're just kind of talking about audiences and platforms. Danny Greer, I agree. You can develop good credit and get more traditional funding to help you instead of a sales approach to a platform. I like Lending Club. So yeah, Hannah Love, meet a person in the audience. Yes. By the way, they're free. Hey, I love the Mannequin challenge. I have been seeing, I think that's so creative, because I've seen so many of them. That's funny. You got to be kidding me. Sausage junkie. You got to be kidding me. All right, let me calm down. Hey, Glennon, what book have you written that specifically talks about the storage auction business? Hold on a second. Just hold on a second. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, what the hell? All right, that's not what I want. Here we go. I'm finding something real quick. Let's see, will that take me there? No. Okay, hold on a second. I'm looking for some here. Let's see. Actually, go below the video and let's see. All right. Here we go. I'll be right here. All right. Under the video, there's a bunch of links. They'll take you to this site, and you will see a Craigslist book, and you will see, it's going to be further down. It's going to be further down. Ah, here are the storage auction books. First books I ever wrote. I can't believe someone asked me that question. I'm sitting here like, you got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. First book I ever wrote. That's what this whole channel was predicated on. I'm not trying to be an ass, but that was hilarious, man. That was hilarious. So the link's under the video. Just hit any one of them, and it'll take you to my Hustlers Kung Fu Gumroad site with all these books and services and products on there. That's where they be. So let's go back to the chat. Hustlers Kung Fu Gumroad site with all these books and services and products on I don't know why I turned the volume back on. I turned it off. All right. Yeah, that's where you get it. Let's see. I just shared you the 5 people. You're the man. I appreciate that. That's different. God loves who wishes for their brother what they wish for themselves. Your brown dog ate my rabbit. I want to steal that. Maybe you should start selling sausage at Sausage Junkie LLC. Where's the key? Here's the key to your kingdom. It's hilarious. No, man, it's just it's really really funny. But the big key and the whole takeaway that you can take away from this deal is you must invest in your audience. You must invest in your audience. You must invest in the demographic. You need to know what people like your stuff. Like, I mean, anytime that I put a chick in the thumbnail, I'm going to get double the views. And every time I can do it, I'm going to do it because I put up Sophia, and the nasty girl, right? That video zoomed up. Why? Because she's a good looking girl. Then I put up the model against all of the industrial equipment. That video took up. Why? Because 90-something% of the people watch this channel are male. That's what they go for. I mean, that's what's going to be happening. So that's cool. All right. So for those of you who have not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. And for those who are looking for storage auction books or hustling stuff, go below the video. There's a ton of stuff to help you. So with that, I am out.